Buenas noches, bienvenidos a todos a Lilly Sin Barreras. Good evening. Welcome everybody to Lilly Sin Barreras, Lilly Without Barriers. We have a lot for today. Tenemos mucho para la noche de hoy. Primeramente vamos a comenzar dándole gracias como siempre a todas aquellas personas que nos auspician. So we're always going to start the show with gratitude. And how do we not say thank you to all of those folks who appreciate collaborating with us, and we appreciate you so much. So again, for the second time, I think, in the past couple of months, we have Dressler Law supporting us. So we'll be hitting the streets the third Sunday of November, as we usually are. And Jeffrey Dressler, the law firm, has allowed us with their donation to do a little bit more than what we usually do. We have our brothers and sisters from the Muslim community already trying to see if they can organize some food for us. So blessings, blessings, many blessings. I hope as you join us, espero que cuando ustedes se integren a esta conversación o sean parte de esta conversación, se puedan dar de cuenta de cuántas cosas maravillosas sí tenemos en la vida y cuántos contratiempos a veces tenemos y cuántos de ellos, nada es para siempre. Nothing is forever. Right? Our kids don't stay small, los chicos no se quedan pequeñitos, uno pues empieza a entrarle supuestamente la edad, la vida cambia, los trabajos cambian, las temporadas cambian. We are in a forever changing world. The guarantee of change is 100%. So las cosas siempre van a cambiar. Yo escucho de muchas personas decir, yo nunca voy a cambiar. I don't know that can be true for me. There are some things that are part of my core that I've been able to keep, but I think that I've changed a lot through the years and through wisdom and through learning from others and failing and crying and reintroducing myself to myself and doing a lot of work. I think there is no way that we can deny that change is happening every day, everywhere we go. We always think that things are going to be the same, and they're not. Well, today I have a little surprise for you all, but it's one of my favorite people in the world. And I will soon tell you why this person is one of my favorite people in the world. She is not new to our cameras. But I always talk about love being a verb, right? And I talk about dreams, hablo de los sueños, de las cosas que nos impresionan, nos apasionan, la compasión, el amor, la ternura, el coraje, todos esos sentimientos. Pero lo más bonito de todas estas conversaciones es con quién las tienes, right? So the most important thing for me is, who do I have these conversations with? How valuable are they to me? Have I given them the value that they deserve? That's always, always important to me. Always important to me. So hay muchas personas que dicen, por ahí viene matasueños. Right? So there is this saying that, oh, the dream killers are coming your way. Well, dream killers can only be successful if you don't have enough injected in you that reminds you that it's your dream. It's your dream and we got you. Yo creo que las multigeneraciones son súper importantes. It's so important for us to look at our youth, to look at ourselves, to see, did we get mentors? ¿Tuvimos mentores nosotros? Hubiésemos querido tenerlos. Hemos sido mentores, pero todo comienza, ¿verdad? En casita. Y a veces a mí me gusta compartir con ustedes, ¿verdad? El mero hecho de que para mí lo más importante, siempre, 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 en mi imperfección de vida, ha sido mi familia. Siempre, siempre, siempre. For me, with all of my imperfections that people may want to highlight, the ones that I beat myself about, the ones that I make up as well, I have to tell you that the most important has always been family. And with that said, I'd like to introduce you to the first person in my life that I thought, wow, I can't believe that this is the gift that keeps on giving a part of my daughter. And her name is Madison Marie Colom Barreto, and she happens to be my grandbaby, my oldest grandbaby. So let's have her join us, and I will tell you why. And so she is in Florida. That's how she.
Hi guys, hola, hola, hola.
That's how she used to say when she was little. Where does your daddy live? Florida.
Hola,
Florida. Florida.
hola.
Hi, Maddie Patty.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're excited?
Sure am. Always.
You are almost in charge today.
Basically,
Basically, listen to her. Maddie, tell everybody how old you are.
I am 15 years old. Well, I am to be exact, to be legally exact, I am 15 and 11 months.
Ok, bien que lindo cuando uno es jovencito que uno empieza a contar los, los mesecitos y todo eso. Cuando llegas a mi edad, you're like 54. That's it. 55 next year. 54 this year. Maddie, tell us why you decided to be on Nani's show again.
Well, I decided to be on Lily Sin Barreras show
Oh,
again.
okay.
Because I love what we do as a community, as a family. Um, and I love helping other people express what they are, how they are, what they want to do, um, how they want to be in the future, and maybe I can help other people express different ways they want to be, but they just don't know it yet.
Que le quede claro a todo el mundo que esta es mi nieta, la mayor Madison Marie, que está en la Florida, que comparte mucho todos los días conmigo. ¿Compartimos o no compartimos, Maddie? Every day.
Definitely do.
Every day, todos los días. Para mí ser abuela es una maravilla, es una cosa rica, deliciosa. Es como un helado en la playa. Para aquellos que se han tomado un helado en la playa, es la cosa más divina del mundo. Mary, cuéntanos, ¿dónde estás? ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás pensando?
Yo estoy en la casa mía con mi papá. Ahora estoy hablando contigo, arreglando la silla mía, porque no sé qué le pasa a mi silla, pero mi silla no está bien. Okay.
Y estás oscuramente de nuevo.
Sí, no sé por qué, pero vamos a arreglar eso ahora. I'm just good. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm in a happy space, doing well, communicating, talking a lot more with my parents, talking a lot more with my grandparents, talking with my dogs, talking with myself, most importantly. Just me.
So we promised everybody, at least I promised, to speak about dreams generation to generation, right? So majority of the people that I know want the best. I would say most of the people that I know in this world want the best for their children. And then come your grandbabies. And so we want the best. Now, the definition of what the best is, the part that we forget is to asking that generation what they think is the best. Now, we protect our children while they are not able to protect themselves. And then we become their advisors if we're blessed. And that's the relationship that I have with Maddie. I'm on her team. I'm a member of her tribe.
I'm on yours. I'm a member of your tribe as well.
I'm a member of her tribe. I want to hear how she's doing, what she's thinking, what are her dreams. But here's the thing, Maddie can tell you, because I think it's so important. Es bien importante para nosotros reconocer que pasamos de ser papás a ser a veces mentores, a veces fastidiamos mucho. Luego de eso, si tenemos la dicha, como la he tenido yo, de ser abuela de esta niña que ya va a cumplir esta señorita que ya va a cumplir 16 años, que la veo pronto porque vamos a celebrar ella y yo su cumpleaños solita, Nani y Mary, porque es el tipo de relación que tenemos. Pero
Y van a
cuéntale,
ver fotos, van a ver videos, van a ver café con Lily, van a ver de todo.
yo no sabía de esa agenda, pero bienvenida a la agenda. Maddie, tell people what it is to grow up with Nani.
Oh, wow. Um, to grow up with Nani.
You got open slate here, girl.
To grow up with Nani is open arms, um, open doors, um, no judgment. You speak, me personally, I've always spoke my mind. I've always spoke how I felt. I don't I used to keep what I have inside. After, I just let it all out. I don't keep nothing in. But with Nani, it's different because Nani, I can be so mad and so frustrated. Like the other day, I was crying and I was just so mad that I called her, and then we just started laughing about it. Like it wasn't a funny situation. I was generally mad, and then Nani just comes and makes a joke, and then boom, I'm smiling and laughing. Like there's just Nani is very motivational. Nani, every time I'm sad, she makes me happy. If I'm feeling some type of way, or if I feel some type of way about what she does or something of way I do, we speak about it. Nani and I always had a great, close relationship because of the trust that we have, the time that we spend together, um, and ever since I was little, I've always been her girl. She's always been my girl. That's someone I would run to if I had to. And obviously
So,
my mom too, but
holler. Don't be
I
getting
love
me
you,
in
mama.
trouble.
I love you.
Don't be
Don't get
getting me in trouble. Queremos tomar una pausa para todos ustedes que conocen a mi equipo de WhatsApp. Alejandra está cumpliendo años. So, besitos, abrazos. For all of you who
Feliz
know my
cumpleaños, feliz
team.
cumpleaños.
For all of you who know my team of Bud Dads, their oldest daughter, is celebrating her birthday. So send her messages, hearts, or whatever it is y'all do. She's a tiny thing. Alejo, ¿cuánto cumple nuestra muñequita? Que nos digan, ese es mi equipo de Bud Dads. Y ahora tenemos que comprar más y más regalos, ¿verdad, Ale? Porque así es la vida. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. This young child is beautiful. Es como magia. So estamos hablando de los sueños. We're talking about dreams and multi-generational. So I think all of us want our children to be happy. Our definition of happiness is different at times. And depending on the generation and what we've lived, so on and so forth, could be very different. So that said, look who's here. Look who's here. Your girl, Chris.
Hi, hello.
Chris, look who's talking. But I wanted to share with all of you guys that it's so important that we talk generation to generation. And so there's grandma who's here, abuelita who's here, right? Which is your great grandmother. Then there's me, I'm your grandmother. And then there is your mama, right? So you have three powerhouses of women watching over you. And it is beautiful. And you also have, your stepmom, and you have your other women in your circle who are pouring into you. So what did you learn? Can you share with us, what did you learn with us about a dream? How would mama describe a dream? How would abuela describe a dream? Let's start with Ita. How would Ita describe a dream? Something you wanted to obtain.
Well, first off, we're going to start off with Ita. Ita, I love you, bendición, te amo, I miss
This
you.
is her great grandma.
Yes. How would Ita describe a dream? Ita would describe a dream as you follow your heart, you do what you do, just don't do nothing stupid.
That does sound like her. That does
That's
sound
what she
like her.
says.
Don't do
That's
anything
what she
stupid.
says, and I quote, that is what she says. I know she's probably gonna hit me with chancleta all over from Puerto Rico, pero it's okay.
No, siempre cuando digas la verdad no tienes
Um,
problema. What about mama?
the
Wait
mama,
a minute. It's my.
mommy always describes,
Go ahead.
huh? Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm listening.
Um, mommy describes a dream. Okay. So, Mama describes a dream as, she says, and I quote Mommy, and I quote, I'm behind you in whatever you want to do. I'm all for it. I'm your practice though, since I want to go to cosmetology school. I want to do hair, I want to do nails, I want to do everything. Um, she tells me I'm your practice doll. You can practice on me, do everything, spend quality time with me, and she supports me. And Mommy's just, I'm with you. And then Nani, hmm.
Which
Nani
would be me.
is, yes, Nani is very supportive. Mommy is also. Um, Nani's a different type of level supportive. Nani is, you help her, she helps you, no matter what. Um, Nani just loves the communication. Nani just loves, if you tell her what it is and you tell her what you need help with, and you explain to her, we will find ways on how to fix it, how to work with it, how to achieve what I want to do, like cosmetology. She told me, start looking for schools, look into schools, see if there's something different in the school, see if there's, more teachers, more schools that have the same thing you want to do, or a school that's dedicated to what you want to do. So Nani is more informational. Nani is more, just look.
Go see the world. Turn
Experience.
all
Look
those
out.
rocks. Experience, please. Know that the world is larger than where you live. Um, how important it is for you, Maddie. And let's talk about how important it is for you to have people in your life supporting your dream, and you recognizing, because you're recognizing that although we all have the same level of love and support for you, we deliver it differently, right? So what does that mean for you?
Um, to be honest, I honestly like it. I love the way everybody shows love and delivers love differently. Because if everybody gave love the same way, what's the point? If nobody shows their love differently, if they don't express their love differently, then why? What's the point? Like, what?
I
What
don't
is
know
the
what the
point of
point
even
is, but
showing
you're
it? Like,
banging on something. You're banging on something.
like, honestly, just don't understand the point. If everybody loves the same, if everybody loves the same, then why? Like, there's just, I don't know. It's just different. Um, everybody gives love different, and I give love different to everybody else. I don't. The love I give you is not the same love I give everybody else. The love I give mommy is not the same love I give everybody else. The love I give Ita, the love I give anybody that's really close to my heart, I don't give that to any random person. I mean, I give kindness, but I don't give love automatically. I don't just give out my heart like, here, you can have it. Go ahead. No.
Wow. Wow. Welcome, Saeed. So we're
Like
watching
Harper.
the.
Wow.
Wow. That's my youngest granddaughter, 2.5. So we're talking to my granddaughter, Madison Marie Colombareto, directly from Florida. We wanted to do this show with you guys because I like to bring her on and her perspective. Now she's going to be 16 in a couple of days, of weeks. and we're going to spend some time together. She's, like I said, in Florida. And I think multi-generational conversations need to continue. It doesn't matter who we are. Aprendemos de aquellos que son menores que nosotros, mayores que nosotros, de la misma edad de nosotros. One of the things that I do with Maddie, and Maddie, you can tell people if this is true or not, we do not rehearse. I don't do that with any guests whatsoever. We do not rehearse.
Passes
And
me
then,
off guard.
yes, I like the transparency. I like the fact that we can talk about anything, and stop at any time that the guest, and this is you today, Maddie, feels uncomfortable. But I want you to help us out, my generation, my walk through life. And when I talk to you from that place. And I always say to you, Maddie, true or not, I always say this has been my experience. My experience.
You always sorry. Um every time, it's not always all the time, but most of the time Nani always says, from my experience, from what I've seen, from what I experienced, from what I've lived through, what I've gone through, what I've anything. She always says I have, or what I've seen, or what I've, you know.
Right. Thank you for the stars. We appreciate them so much because it supports our mission. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of
Okay,
you.
that's another thing. The stars and the how much we've grown is preposterous. Okay, I'm using a big word. Preposterous.
Preposterous.
Um,
Maddie, why do you say we?
because if it wasn't like, one person can't just always do it alone. There's always somebody else. Sometimes there's only two people, but two people is a lot of people to grow. Um, and to see where we came from is, wow. We went from serving Puerto Rico, people who came from Puerto Rico, to serving the homeless who don't have anything.
They have us. They have God. They have themselves. They have dignity. They have all the love that we can give.
So it's like, it's we. It's we. There's more than one, so it's we. And everybody who's giving stars, we appreciate it. And, it just comes from the heart. Like, you guys don't understand how happy Nani was. It was just, oh my God.
Once I understood what it was, right? All right. So let's get back to our dreams. Oh, my boy Warren Hardy. Ooh, bam. This is one of the kindest outreach advocate, hardcore Warren Hardy. Talking to my granddaughter here, Warren, my grandbaby, my oldest. Thank you all for the support. So, Maddie, I'm so glad Warren is here too, because he works with the young people, and this has like always been his focus. Your mama is on fire, so you are on your own. So far we haven't gotten yelled at. So, but Warren works with a lot of young people. Tell us a little bit about how we generation before you, can support your dreams. How do you come up with this is what I want to be? You look in your community and see what, you're going to be 16 and you've already made a decision that you are going to have what? You're going to be a businesswoman. You've decided already, right? You're going to have.
I want to be a businesswoman. I want to be a cosmetologist. I want to go to cosmetology school. I want to, like I've told Nani, like I've told Mom, like I've told a lot of people, I want to make people come into the salon and feel like, oh, I'm having a hard day, and then come out feeling like, damn, I feel good. I feel better. Like, going in there is like Nani says, therapy. Because like
Therapeutic.
when I go to get my hair done, sometimes I'm like, wait, I like being in this seat. I like being here. Hey, somebody, nobody gonna explain to me why I like being here? It's because that's what my heart likes to do. And it took a while for me to find what I wanted to do. It took
Mm.
a while. Because first, I wanted to play basketball for the rest of my life. Um, Second, I wanted to play volleyball for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
I wanted to go to the Air Force, and then I
Mhm.
saw that
And
I
why did
love
you
it.
want to
I
go
love
to the Air Force? Why did you want to go to the Air Force?
because my grandpappy was in the Air Force.
Mhm. So now that we have Warren here, I think it's so important because I'm going to abuse the privilege of having him here. I think it's so important what we expose our kids to and don't make that decision for them. Right. So Maddie first, she was like, I'm going to be a police officer. Your mama can testify to this. Now she look at her face. When she was little, she was like, Nani, I'm going to be a police officer. First, she would say a policeman. I was like, you would be a police officer. And then she's like, I don't want to be a police officer. And then it was what? Social worker? Then she was going to be a social worker. Right. And so giving our young ones an opportunity to like figure out, what's their groove, what's their thing. And what's been the common theme for you is cosmetology.
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 And cosmetology honestly has my heart. Cosmetology, if I can explain cosmetology in 5 words, um, relaxing, um, takes a lot of work, a lot of time and thought. Um, it honestly, I can't explain it in 5 words because it's just like it's a lot to explain in 5 words. Um,
Mhm.
but honestly, that's what I've been wanting to do. Like I've always loved hair. I've always loved doing hair. You can ask Nani. Nani would ask me, "Do you want to do my braids?" I'm gonna play with my hair. I'll tangle my hair, play with my hair. Mommy would do the same. I always loved doing nails. I used to paint my nails all the time. Nani tell you, mommy, Nani can testify. Nani, can you paint my nails? Paint my nails. Um, and I've always just loved the feeling of I don't know, doing hair, doing nails, makeup, everything. I used to have little makeup kits all over Nani's house and all over mommy's house.
This is true. Very, very true. What are the things that you felt that you had freedom to explore? Did you have freedom to say, oh, I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. Because you talked about several things you have tried so far, right? Like you tried basketball, you love dancing, and I remember one time taking you by a dance studio and saying, would you like to, you're like, no, I kind of like to dance, but I don't want to be like a dancer. So I was like, oh, okay. So I misunderstood, totally misunderstood. So what kind of freedom do you think you've had to like travel those channels and say, I want to do this, I want to do that? Were you ever concerned that one of us would be like, oh, mija, make up your mind, mija, because we don't know what you want? Were you ever concerned that one of us would do that to you?
No, I was never concerned because I always knew I had open hands and open arms to say, you choose what you want. I'm not
Mhm.
going to choose it for you. I'm not going to judge what you want to do. Because when I said I wanted to become a therapist, nobody said nothing. But now that I think of it, I'm like, ma'am,
And you're
ma'am.
going to become a different type of therapist. You're going to be the therapist who's going to run a salon, a place where people can go and feel better, taken care of, and receiving a lot of love and kindness. So I know
A
that you're shocked.
cosmetologist therapist, basically.
There you go. There you go. A lot of people will tell you that that's where they go to feel better. Maddie, tell us a little bit about what are the things that people say that you look around and you go, that people say to young people that really discourage them. Oh, before you answer that question, for all of you who want to listen to Warren Hardy, you just have to go to his page. He's doing a live right now. That's why he leaves our show and he talks some deep stuff. I would not be offended if you left this show to go and watch Warren Hardy's live because the man is like boots on the ground. He knows what he's talking about. So feel free to look him up and look up all his work. Um, so that said, so Maddie, is there stuff that you listen to that you go, man, that might discourage someone, or you've heard things that you go, oh, that might discourage someone's dream or make them afraid, or so on and so forth? Are there things that we say sometimes, because I'm sure we do, um, that you see that you go, oh,
I mean, uh, I've seen, heard, thought of. Um, a lot of people say you don't know what you want to do. You got to figure it
mm,
out by your junior year in high school. Because if you don't figure it out,
mm.
you're not going to have anything to do with your life. I've heard you're not going to get anywhere. I've heard um,
So you've had people at such a tender age, meaning such a young age in your life. I know people who are 40, 50, even 6 years old that still don't know what they want to be. And that changes with time. This is what I always say to you, right, Maddie? It's just like, you might change your mind, and that's okay too. You might change your mind, and that's okay too. Um, so people telling you at such a young age you're not going to be anybody?
there's it's really sad, honestly. It's honestly really sad because I am very strong, but there's other teenagers and other teenage girls, other teenage boys who are not strong as me, are very weak and very emotional and get really hurt really easily. So I'm gonna give an example, which actually happened. Um, I was in school and um, there was this light skinned person talking to this brown skinned person. And I was sitting at the table next to them. And he goes, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" He goes, "I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure it out." Very nicely, very calmly, very nice, and, respectful. And then the other person goes, "Wow, you haven't figured it out yet? Wow, that's so crazy."
And how old is this person who's trying to figure it out?
This person's a senior in high school, 18, 17, still
¿Cuánto
trying
tú
to figure out
crees? I
what he wants.
mean, please hit me up. Let us know. Let Maddie know. How many of you had figured it out by you were 14 and 15 years old?
And it's like, honestly, I looked to the side and I said, and I spoke up, and I was like, why is it your concern what he wants to do with his life? Do you have what you want to do figured out? He's like, yes. I'm like, so what do you want to do? He's like, I'm like, I said, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want it to come up rude. But if you don't exactly have what you want, don't criticize somebody else.
But what does Nani tell you about criticism all the time, right? Definitely not me, says your mama. Um, that is usually coming from a place of insecurity from someone else, right?
But it's also like a lot of people in my school and a lot of people in Florida and a lot of people everywhere, but I've mostly seen it in Florida. Um, Florida.
Fuera, yes.
um, a lot of people don't have respect. A
Mm,
lot of people are very judgmental. A lot of people don't support LGBTQs. I've seen people who fought a person just for being LGBTQ,
mm,
and it like breaks my heart because it's like you don't have to support, you don't have to like. Don't be disrespectful.
mm-hmm. So
Don't be rude.
you have Kathleen 10 hours who tells you it took me 42 years to paint with colors, taught myself, continued to be a nurse and painted both. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, that's impressive. And talking about painting, I wanted to be a painter. That's what I wanted to do too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love
Yeah, we
painting, I
still.
love drawing, I love art. I love art helps me express myself. That's why I like cosmetology because makeup expresses people. Hair expresses people. Nails express people.
So you have Wanda Ellers here telling you I'm 55 and I'm still figuring it out. We're gonna figure it out forever, people. Let me just tell you, we change every day we're changing. Every day we're learning something new. Everything
But
we're trying to
I also don't want people to think it's wrong for me to change my mind of what I want to do. No. No, because you think if you feel like somebody's going to judge you because you changed your mind, you think that somebody's going to be like, "Oh, why'd you do that? But I wanted you to do this." That's what I wanted you to do.
Oh, all right, golden nugget. Let's stop right there. Why did you change your mind? This is what I wanted you to do. So that comes from where?
That honestly just comes like
I is from where?
I is from you.
And it
I,
belongs to?
you. It doesn't belong to
And
nobody
not
else.
on me,
Yeah,
right?
but like with cosmetology, nobody told me I want to do cosmetology. It's what you need to do. No.
Mhm.
None of my family members have ever told me you need to do this. You have to do this. You have to go to school for this. You have to. No, I've
Totally.
always had the option.
Be kind, be generous. But what does Nani always tell you about education?
Education is your ticket, is your key to success and to do whatever you want to do.
That is your ticket to what?
To go to do you to
Whatever
go
you
do
want to
what you.
do. But that totally is not true because there is a lot of people who have followed their dreams and don't have the traditional education than one would think. So that was my perspective from my generation, from my experience, but you are going to a non traditional way. You're not going to a 4 year college. You're not going to do any of those things. And, um, and that's good because you're going to follow your dream and you no longer need all of that to do what you want to do. So it's a learning for people like me, right? To say, oh, wait a minute, she wants to do something different. And what does that take for her to get there? Your mama says going to be 34 and just coming to grips that I want to go into elder social work. Is that surprising you?
No, that
No.
doesn't surprise me because mommy has always, um, mommy has always wanted to work in the social community. Mommy
Mm-hmm.
has always loved elders. Mommy has always put her mind to elders. Once she found what she loved, oh, mommy stuck with it. Mommy stuck with it, and this is gonna bring mommy to tears. It's gonna bring me to tears. Mommy Hoy had mommy's heart. Mommy Hoy didn't know how to speak English. Mommy Hoy didn't know how to read English, and mommy stuck by her side. And it broke mommy when they took Mommy Hoy.
Yeah.
And
Which is
it,
somebody she took care of. Um, and she was, DA to this patient, which is such a valuable trade and it's so underpaid, so undervalued, and almost ignored into people need it. And they don't understand the value of having a good caretaker, of having someone you can actually connect with your loved one and the entire family. So, Maddie, talk a little bit. Oh, Rosemary Mejias, it's here for you. Rosemary, she loves you to pieces.
bendición.
So, Maddie, what are the things that inspire you? You like to paint. That's why half of this house, has buckets of paint of yours. Um, that is an outlet for you, but you don't want to become a painter at this time. Painting is an outlet for you, something that you do for you. And what does it do for you?
Um, Painting, or to be honest, I'm gonna speak on cosmetology and painting. Um, Painting lets me express myself, lets me express my feelings. Like, for example, I'm gonna give an example on one of my paintings. I painted canvas black, and I took my paints and my paintbrush and I just splattered all the colors I felt, and I made a design. Made it look like a starry night. Um, Cosmetology. I express myself with college with cosmetology because with colors, with hairstyles, with nails, with anything. To be honest, I just like expressing myself the way I feel good, the way I feel happy doing it. If that makes sense.
Thank you for the stars, people. Thank you for joining us. We're talking to Madison Marie Colon Barreto as a whole mouth full. She is my Maddie Patty. Her mom is here with us. Her mom calls me old lady, but it's not out of disrespect, it's out of love. And she says that's what my old lady taught me to do so. And I was a time in my life where I enjoyed very much being a CNA, a certified nursing assistant. And so she saw me do that as well. Maddie did as well, coming into to work and watching the work that I did. Maddie, of the work that you have, and remember, you take $50 home if you can give me the, and Maddie said, and it touched me, and Maddie said, um, you are going to be 16 years old. And this is what I want to highlight to everybody. Yo quiero que todo el mundo entienda que ella va a tener 16 años. Es tan importante para nosotros los padres, mire, los abuelos apoyar a los padres, ¿verdad? Porque ya nosotros hemos pasado unas cositas u otras. Mi mamá apoyarme a mí, pero todo fluye, ¿verdad? Hay momentos en que mi mamá me apoya a mí, yo la apoyo a ella, siempre busca ese consejo, ese espacio, that space where you can be with those men and women in your life. You desperately need every child deserves the opportunity to have love and people to take care of them and to give them space and to challenge them. I remember, Maddie, do you remember this? We would go to church together, and Maddie taught me something really important because I would say, so how was the mass for you? And she's like, Nani, I go to church and then you're going to quiz me in the car. And I thought, uh-oh, do you remember that? I was like, what am I doing? She's right. Whatever she got out of the mass is whatever she got out of the mass. Whatever she got out of the service is whatever she got out of the service. So it was very interesting because here I am thinking, hey, I got this. And all of a sudden, Maddie's like, why am I coming with you if you're going to give me a quiz in the car every time we come out? And she taught me
I
a
don't want
really
to.
big lesson. Go
I
ahead.
don't want to interrupt you, but I do have a question for you.
Oh, not many
I do
people
have
have
a question
questions for
for you.
Okay.
If there is one thing, and I'm only gonna give you one thing because I know you can name a million. I know you. If you can name one thing, or one person, or one special thing to you, um, what's one little thing that made you continue go to your dreams, or still continuing going to your dreams? What is pushing you to go to your dreams? What's one thing?
Justice. Every area that I've worked in, may it be, hitting the streets, may it been, as a trainer, as a CNA. My dream has always been to be able um, to give voice to those that don't have a voice. Um, and when I was a little girl, my dream was to be a singer. That was really, really my dream. And my poor mother, she lost lots of brushes because they were all my microphones, and my grandmother. But then I discovered that my voice was a tool that I could use very much. So I think justice.
I honestly didn't think you would get that fast, but I have another question for you, so I can just.
Okay. All right. So dropping my format and going with the flow.
Um,
Excuse me.
I want to say, like, because I'm gonna ask you the same question, but I want you to hear mine first.
Oh,
Um,
your answer first. Okay.
yes, and then yours.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
um, so my question for you is, how have your dreams been supported? But the way I put mine is, Nani and Mommy have always told me, we will help you with your dreams. As in, like I said before, you do what you want. You do whatever you want to do. Just put your mind to it. And as example, um, how I am now, how my grades are, how I'm doing great in school, how I'm focusing on school, how I'm focusing more on myself.
We're very
Um,
proud of you.
I just honestly, when I put my mind to something, I can do it. And Nani, Grandpappy, gonna say his name even louder, Grandpappy.
Well, you got another grandpa here at Rosemary Mejia's house saying, I love you, Maddie.
um, Mommy, Nani, Ita have always told me, I have faith in you. You can do it. Just put your damn mind to it. Like my dad says, just put your damn mind to it. Because everybody knew I had it in me, but I just didn't know how to let it out, how to express it. So, how have your dreams been supported?
Oh, that's a good question. You've always been a great supporter of my dream. As a matter of fact, I have a confession to make that only you and I know, Maddie. Maddie was the first person to take a look at the first chapter that I wrote for my book. We don't know if it'll be published or not. Good evening,
It's a
Eddie.
great
Oh,
book. It's a great book. Just to say it's a great book.
so she would say to me, and this is just a couple of years ago, she would say, Nani, before, I go to bed or before we do our prayers, because, that's something we believe in. Um, can you read a little bit of your book to me? And I was always cautious because there are things there that I thought were a little bit wrong. So we would lay in her bed because she has her own bedroom here. All the grandbabies do. They have to share it though. And she was the first person to do that. My grandmother was a powerhouse of support. My mother, I think, always saw me like, ay, Dios mío, esta nena, Dios mío. She always feared. Um, she always feared que me podía pasar, what could happen to me, because I was willing to speak out and do those things, and that could be very scary for a parent, especialmente en la generación de mi mamá. Era bien preocupante para ella how I would launch myself to do things. So la pobrecita pues le dio vida a esto. So, sorry, ma. Pero las otras cosas que me han apoyado mucho is realizing what my spirit is made out of. And I always have people around me, in my belief that God brings around me to make sure that inspire me. And you inspire me so much, Manny. You do. You inspire me so much. Hearing you're wanting to you're wanting to share the day with me. You're wanting to celebrate with me. You wanting to share your tears with me. Um, your mom allowing that bridge to be built, and making sure that it was there for you. When I hear the words Nani on the phone, inspires me every day. And it is very important for me that young voices like yours are heard, are not invisible, that you are not invisible, and that you are heard. And that at the end of the day, whatever I do, I leave that in you that says, Nani loves you today, tomorrow, and forever. There's nothing you can do that can stop me from loving you. And so that's always been kind of, not kind of, has always been my desire, that for my loved ones, they will always know that I love them, with all of my imperfections. Have I made up my imperfections or are they real? Um, is always to find out that to know, am I serving you? Am I serving you right? So what else you got, kid, in that tool of yours? It seems like you came prepared and armed.
um, I don't have any more questions, but honestly,
Mm.
one thing that I value a lot of our relationship is our communication that we always had. Is even when we were frustrated at each other, even when I didn't want to talk, you were always there. You always would be like, Maddie, it's okay. You don't have to say it now. You can talk to me later. Um, I'll call you back in a little bit so I could check up on you. Um, just those little things that I thought were like, wow, like I never honestly thought like. Obviously, when I was younger, I was just like, I have it, but now that I'm older, I can value it even more. I can take care of the relationship even more. I can talk a lot more.
So communication is so key in every relationship, says Mr. Eddie, who calls you. Do you remember what Mr. Eddie calls you? Eddie, remind her what you call her. Remind her what you call her. I think it's so important that we, as many generations of us, getting together. My daughter has a perspective. I have a perspective. Sometimes we come together. My mother has a perspective. And I'm talking about the women in the family. And then we have the men. Trouble. Then we have the men in our family. That's what he's always called you. Trouble, trouble. Um, the men in our families and in our circle. Oh, your mom picked it up like this. In our circle that are so important to my family and to all of us. And we always try to protect that circle that comes across. Now, what is the advice that you would give us? Not your peers, but us. Um, Tell us two things that we can do better at. I'm sure there's a whole list and we can bring that up. Um, but tell us what is two things as we're coming, believe it or not, to the end of our show and so on and so forth. But two things that my generation or your mom's generation or Antonio's generation, Dios te me bendiga, hijo, can do better at. Because you
Um,
have, I was talking to you about this the other day. I said, I think it's so difficult for you guys because you have the social media. You're getting information all the time, 24/7, if you're on that groove. And your relationships are different because of all these platforms and what you're able to see and how you're able to communicate. You're able, being bullied, the graphic images that you all see, all these kind of groups that are so conflicting in their messages, the hate, the love, the this, the that. So your world is very different. I'm glad I didn't grow up in the generation of this. you know I don't think my mother would ever let us have this, to be honest with you. She could probably tell you, no Facebook for you. Okay. None of that. Because my mom was pretty, private. And well, she is very private. So tell us, what are two things that you think we could do better at?
okay, so basically two pieces of advice.
That we
Um,
can do better. We can do better.
um, one piece of advice is if you have kids, if you have grandchildren, um, let them come to you. Don't force yourself to go to them. Um, let them uh, come to you and let them figure out when they're ready. Let them figure out when they're like, I want to talk now. I want your help. That's one piece. Oh my God, I want to start crying because of that.
Es tan importante para nosotros, Mary, para todos aquellos que nos acompañan, es tan importante escuchar a nuestra juventud. Estamos hoy compartiendo el espacio con uno de mis seres más brillantes, más amados, más queridos. La bendición que me ha traído mi hija al mundo, aparte de ser ella, mi muñeca. Esta es mi nieta, la mayor, Madison Marie Colón Barreto, que viene a través de nuestras redes sociales para comunicarnos un poquito de cómo las multigeneraciones son tan poderosas y cómo podemos hacer mejorar la comunicación, el mensaje que le damos a nuestros jóvenes, pero también escucharlos, que es lo más importante. So, Maddie, when you tell us, let you come to us, this is when you're having maybe a difficult time.
It could be anything. It could be um, about school. It could be about hard times. It could be about good times. Um, there's always, like it's a saying, there's always a time and place. So my time and place was when I got older and when I opened my eyes and when I realized there could be 12-year-olds, there could be 11-year-olds, there could be 10-year-olds who are already talking. But let as in let them come, let us come to you guys is more of let us take our baby steps. Let us fall into your arms. Don't just grab us. Just let us fall into your arms.
Oh, that's poetic. Let us fall into your arms. Don't grab us. Let us fall into your arms. Don't grab us, because we will interrupt your process. So Kathleen says, OMG, that was always my way of being with my son. I let him come to me, always present for him. And here's your mom with a comment that I agree with her. It is so hard. Your mom is going to be 34 years old, and I'm still putting my nose in stuff that I'm sure I'm not supposed to. So we've come up with a code. What am I here to do? Am I here to listen? Am I here to advise? Am I here? What do you need? The biggest thing your mom has taught me is you don't need to fix everything, Mom. And so hard. I want to fix. A safe place to fall. I love that. But it is hard. Second piece of advice.
Second piece of advice. Just be you. Just be you. Don't like I know everybody's like, oh, I have to be one way around this person, one way around that person. No, you don't. You just gotta be you. Be you around the whole world.
This is the adults.
Yes, this is the adults. Because I know adults who are two-faced. I'm not gonna say who.
I love that.
But they're two-faced.
So does that make you distrust them?
Yeah, it does. It makes us youth look at two-faced people like, you're one way around me, but why aren't you like that around me? You're like that around them. Like, they could be by themselves and be a whole different person. Like, when I'm around people, like now, I am social, but I am not social like I used to be. Before, I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. How are you? No. Now I'm like, hello, hi. I give you my hand and that's it. But just be you. You have you feel like you have two sides. Combine them. Combine them into one. You don't have two.
It is so important, although time is never on our side when we're having these types of conversations, because I know all of us could do better. Every day, all of us grow, all of us learn. The world has changed a lot for some of us in my generation and many others. But we're talking to my granddaughter, and I think open communication is it's so important. And building those bridges are so important. Not letting everyone in and giving them your energy is such a great lesson. And it is such a great lesson.
Who said
It
that?
takes time. Your mama.
I knew it.
Um,
Knew it.
and it takes time, folks. It takes time to figure that out, who deserves your energy and who doesn't. And who is, and I say this all the time, and I've told you this to you, Maddie. We always have to look at, I encourage you. I share things with her, and then I say, you make up your own mind of what I've said. Does it make sense to you? Do you want to get back to me? And she might get back to me and say, Nani, I feel differently about what we talked about. But I usually think that people are coming from their experience, their perspective, their fears, their anxieties, their, failures, their this, their that. They're coming from there. And so not everything. Love you, Maddie. Thank you, says your grandpappy. Um, I think it's really vital for us as a community to listen to this population that's coming up, and who is going to ensure that the world continues to be a good place, and if not a much better place, because God did we screw up some stuff for you guys. And I'm talking about legislation and politics and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can be here for you, Mad, your entire family. So you feel like you can have those conversations with us. So Maddie, as well as her mother, has been out to rallies with me. Maddie has been out to serve, to be served, right? When we go out, we don't serve, we don't do charity. We serve to be served. We break bread. And at a very early age, her mom allowed her to do that with me. And I think it really put some different kind of eyes on you. Did it not? Because you had lots of questions about, why is this happening? Why don't people have homes? And why don't people have, what I have? And why don't people have a shirt? And why don't people have this and that? So I so appreciate the fact that we have this relationship, but I think a lot of it has to do with a choice your mom made at an early age,
So,
to invite you into our world and allow us to be grandparents. Go ahead, honey.
so one thing I want to say is, for the $50.
Oh, she already thinking about money.
So for the $50, you guys have to, and you guys have to comment one lesson you learned, or one thing you learned, because we're bringing it at church now, because Nani and Grandpappy always, well, Nani stopped, but Grandpappy always asks me, what did you learn from church? So, what is one thing you gained and you
And he
felt
does
like...
not go to church. Let's be clear. He doesn't go to
No,
church.
he doesn't.
Okay.
So what's one thing you gained, or what's one thing I said, or one phrase I said that got you? And what's two things that you would give advice to us, to this generation, to the teens?
Holy cow.
That's for them. That is for them.
Okay.
While that's going, I have my croc charms.
Oh, let's talk about this. So part of being, so the two things that we have to do, your mom says only one. Sheesh.
All right. So sorry. 3.
Oh no, that's her practice. Don't Kathleen says, and I think this is beautiful. This is one of my favorite Lily hours. A lot of love here. We need that. Love, 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 love is the only way to win anything over. So repeat those things you want us to do, Maddie, because some of us can't, like retain,
Okay.
like
So
your nanny.
So I changed it up to 3 now, since mommy wants to complain. The 3.
We got penalized for one member.
So you guys have to Write 3 things of what you gained or what phrase you thought got to you that I've said. Um, and one piece of advice now, one piece of advice that you would give us teenagers, us, this community thing that we live in now, because I don't even know what to call it anymore. Because it's so sad at what it is, I don't know what to call it. Um, or
So
even
y'all start
if
typing. Start typing right now. You got 5 minutes before I do it on lockdown. Start typing. What is the advice that you would give a young person? What's anything that Maddie has said that has made you? Kathleen has already told you that she's really enjoyed the show. One of her favorite ones. Your mama's claiming mercy. She says, "No, I was being sarcastic." But
she's gonna call me after this, Maddie. Why 3?
why 3? So you guys go to the typing, because that's so important. If you don't want to take the $50 home, I do have to make an announcement. Tengo que hacerle un anuncio a todos ustedes. Toda la abogacía que nosotros hagamos, de ahora en adelante, el equipo ha tomado la decisión que se va a hacer a través de Lilly Sin Barrera. Hay personas que nos escriben y que nos llaman y nos escriben a través de las redes sociales y todo eso. So people are reaching out and saying, this is the thing that I need. So we were able to buy a generator in Puerto Rico. I mentioned this before. That's what we did for this particular person. For another person, we were able to remove the barrier of getting their prescription. And for some people, that will be that small. But for the person who's in need of it, it's huge. So while we work on all of these strategic issues and pilot programs and all of those type of things, which, I have mixed feelings about, it is important that you feel free to write to us. And if we can't help with thousands of dollars because we don't have them, we can definitely share with others. Kathleen, I hope that you don't leave us, because I am going to make an announcement. And I think your advice is going to be vital here. So I'm going to translate as much as I can, as quickly as I can, while everybody's answering
We talk
Maddie's
about my
request. Say again?
the croc charms.
Yeah, we're going to do that right now. Give me 1 second. Let me just attend to. You got them all together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, explain what these things are, because it took me a minute.
Okay, so basically croc charms are okay, so if we know what crocs are, or if we don't, I actually have them on
The
right
shoes.
now.
Los
Yes,
zapatos.
Crocs, the shoes. These are Crocs. They're very comfortable. I live in them every day. So Croc charms are basically little decorative things that go on the Crocs, and they look like this. This is one, for example. And they go on the Crocs, and I have a whole bunch of different ones. And to be honest, I kind of expressed myself with the Croc charms, to be honest, if I'm being honest with you guys. But they are for sale, so if you guys want any Croc charms, let Nani know.
And we will put it, my team will put it up so you guys actually understand what all of that she said was, because she had to help Nani out to see what it was, but she's already becoming a businesswoman. Pero no te vayas, Mari. I think this is extremely important. Vamos a tener un programa especial. We're going to have a special program in which we've had someone in Venezuela express a specific medical need. Kathleen, I think that's why you're so vital. Please don't go, because you might have great advice for us. At least if you listen to the situation, maybe later on you can guide us a little bit more. So Andres is in Venezuela, and he has a medical request. So he has his processes already. He needs about $4,000, and we're going to do a whole show about this sooner than later, as quickly as we can. But he cannot go into surgery until this money is put together for him to have all of this done in Venezuela. So it is, I believe, his knee. and he's gotten everything he needs, the prostheses he's gotten, and I'm mispronouncing that, my accent's getting in the way. Um, but he has gotten all the donations for blood. Everything is ready, except he needs to pay for this operation. My team is on it right now. Kathleen, I would love to share with you. You probably have a lot more experience. Well, you do. Um, a lot more experience in this area than I do. So this is one of the things that we want to be able to help with. So definitivamente, Andrés, para contestarle la pregunta, mi equipo se está encargando de programar un programa súper, súper, súper rápido para traerlos ustedes, para que nos puedan conversar, nos puedan contar un poco de cuál es la situación y de qué forma podemos ayudar. Entendemos que la ayuda que se necesita inmediata es el dinero, pero queremos que el pueblo sepa por qué se necesita ese dinero y por qué se debe de llegar a Venezuela. Remember that all of us, in my belief, love is a verb, right, Manny? So all of us across the world are one. So whatever we do to help another brother, another sister, another family, like the fallen here in Bristol, everywhere, whatever good we can do somewhere to help someone, we're doing it to the world. So that's my belief. So pronto vamos a tener a esta familia para que nos converse, para que nos hable, que nos cuenten qué es lo que está pasando y por qué ellos lo pusieron en las redes sociales y la cantidad de dinero que necesitan. So I hope that Kathleen, you can help us a little bit more understanding what the situation is, and we can give you also all the information. It's great to have a tribe here that understands medically what some of these things are, and it's also good to have a tribe of people who are willing to help. My team has verified that all the information is correct, that it's legit, and is getting all of the information they need from the providers who are going to perform the surgery. Sadly, we have had requests in the past and they have been not legit, to say the least. And my team makes sure that this doesn't happen. So, en otras ocasiones, lamentablemente las personas han tomado este espacio para manipularlo de una forma u otra y no existe la necesidad. Pero mi equipo ha confirmado que para Andrés José Martínez Baloa esta necesidad es cierta, necesaria y tiene que ser ya prontito. So, próximamente vamos a hablar con esta familia para poderlos traer a la luz y ayudar desde acá para allá. Maddie, I love you. I think people are just totally stumped. And so you owe Maddie some advice. You owe Maddie your answers. So now you all have homework for Maddie, given by Miss Madison. So Madison, you want to close us out? Is there any last thoughts that you want to leave us with? I can't hear you, Ben.
Can you hear me now?
There you are. Yeah.
Okay. This is about the $50. If nobody gets to you by tomorrow noon, or if not 2:00 latest, $50 goes to the person who needs it.
Oh boy. Okay. You're the boss.
So
I told her she would be the boss in the show.
If nobody gets it, then those $50 are going to them and to him. So if they do go to him, tell him I gave him my love, and I hope everything goes well with him, and I hope he gets what he needs.
So, Mary nos indica que si ya al mediodía de mañana no han contestado sus preguntas, esos $50 van para la familia que nos ha hecho el acercamiento. So all of you, thank you so much for always being so generous. Kathleen, I will definitely call you tomorrow if that's at all possible. Let me know what's a good time for you. And I'll give you the information that I have of the family. Maybe you can help us walk together para ayudar a esta familia que está en Venezuela, que está necesitada. Maddie, I love you with my heart, my soul, and my spirit.
Love you more, love you more, love you more. Thank you for having me again. And trust me, you will have me again and 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 again.
So, para todos ustedes que han disfrutado el programa de hoy, se han deleitado con la presencia de mi nieta, que va a cumplir 16 años. And so I love her to death. I love that she's willing to come here on the show. And to be honest with you guys, when I wanted to open this, this format that we're using now, she was my biggest cheerleader. And I have to say, probably one of my coaches when it came to like, everything's falling apart. What is that button? What does that do?
Maddie, don't touch the button. Don't touch the button. No.
Don't touch the buttons. I'm known for pressing buttons, so I'm not to be trusted. I come from the old school of communication, so it was great to have. I have some of my grandbaby in it. And my belief, and our belief, God bless you, protect one another, be kind to one another, follow Ellen DeGeneres all the time, be kind to one another. And in my belief, don't forget, love is a verb. Don't stop loving. Expect very little and give a lot, and you'll be happy. Buenas noches. Good night. I love you, Maddie. I'm going to bed. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.